Attention Canadians, this is not good. More people are leaving Canada and the most educated are most likely to go. You do know what this means, right? You know what this means. There are two types of people that are leaving based off this headline. Educated. What does that mean? Number one, you have the worker that is the most educated and the best in his field that gets paid a very good salary.
Living Canada is a small decision, but in 2025, more and more people are making that choice. What's surprising is many of them aren't heading to countries we typically think of as more developed. In fact, some are moving to places one considers far behind Canada in terms of quality of life and economy. So what's driving this wave of people out of the country? In today's video, we're going to take a closer look at real stories from people who already left or are planning to leave Canada very soon, and we explore the deeper reasons behind these growing trends. So now let's dive in.
Attention Canadians, this is not good. More people are leaving Canada and the most educated are most likely to go. You do know what this means, right? You know what this means. There are two types of people that are leaving based off this headline. Educated. What does that mean? Number one, you have the worker that is the most educated and the best in his field that gets paid a very good salary, that knows how to save and invest and builds a great life for their family. They don't need the money. They're gone. They will be employed by somebody else because they are the best in their industry. Number two, and the second person that will be leaving will be the person that employs those people, the job creators, the educated ones that know how to start a business and run a company. When they take their money and their millions of dollars and they decide to leave, who's going to be left to pay the taxes? What? The middle class? The middle class is broke. They can't afford it. So when all these people that are smart, educated, have money, they leave because they can't handle it anymore in this country because the crime's gone up. You can't afford anything. Taxes are just wiping out your wealth. Even if you do produce a lot of money in this country, they're wiping it out. Okay? When they leave, this country is going to go up in flames. We only have a few years left, if that, because the damage could be done. They might have let in so many immigrants that the Liberals are always going to win, and Canada might be finished. We don't know. It's starting to look that way because how the Liberals won this election, I don't know. And if they win the next one, it's for sure, that's it. Sayonara, because the people that actually move the needle in this country, they are not going to want to stick around. They are done carrying the weight for so many people that are blind to what's really going on in this country. And we are on the decline fast. Get it together, Canadians, because when these people leave and they don't come back, it's going to be very difficult to impossible to turn this country around. Ciao.
When business owners and people who create jobs to leave Canada, they take jobs and tax money with them. So what's left behind? Big companies like Loblaws, Rogers, and Bell, but they're focusing on automation, which means fewer jobs for Canadians. With less tax money coming in, the government may raise taxes on regular people or on those big companies. And if those companies decide to leave too, the result could be very serious.
So after 25 years of Canada, we are moving back to Europe. It's a nightmare. I'm soaked because, I'm sweating. It's summer. It's July 5th, 2025. And this is Saturday. On Monday, the container comes. And we are not ready. Okay, they will pack everything apparently. They will sort out, but still there is a lot of stuff that they need to do. And I don't know how I feel about it. It's so strange. I love Canada. And now that I know that I live, I realize more and more how much I love this country. And it's not gonna be easy.
Living in Canada is not a decision people take lightly, especially for those who once felt a deep connection to this country. So why are so many choosing to leave? For some, it's the rising cost of living. For the others, it's the lack of job opportunities or growing concerns about what the future holds for their children. But perhaps the most heartbreaking part is this. Many of those living once believed in Canada. They saw it as a place of promise, a safe, stable country to be alive. Now the sense of hope is fading because Canada no longer feels like a country they once moved to or grew up in.
One day, my wife and I were sitting on our couch in Toronto, and we just looked at each other and we both said the same thing. We were like, is this it? Like, is this really the rest of our lives? Life kind of felt predictable. There was no fire, no adventure. And so that's ultimately why we decided to leave. It's not about real estate or healthcare or taxes. I'm happy to talk about those things if you want. Let me know. The deeper issue was ultimately the vibe. During lockdown, people were actually calling the cops on their neighbors. Like, no questions asked, no critical thinking, just fear. And after that, it was so hard to unsee. Canada has a very passive aggressive culture. Nobody is direct. Everyone nodding with the CBC, no one willing to rock the boat. And don't get me wrong, Canada is a great place. I love it. And I have a lot of friends who still live there and they have no intention of leaving. Except they do have their farms, they have their Bitcoin, and they do have a plan B if something should happen. So like, don't buy into the fear mongering and all that. Like, Canada will be fine, especially if you're well positioned. But for me, I didn't want to be just fine. I wanted my girls to know the whole world. So I didn't run away from Canada. I just ran towards something bigger and more exciting. And that's ultimately what life is about. It should be an adventure. So you need to start building life on your terms.
In the end, having a backup plan is absolutely essential. Whether that means preparing to leave Canada or finding a sustainable way to stay and adapt to the changes, because if the current trends continue with rising taxes and population growth of 5 to 10% each year, serious consequences are inevitable, and those who are in repair may end up being the ones hit the hardest.
Canadians are packing and they're leaving for good, and high home prices are a major factor. In the first quarter of 2025, Canada saw the largest number of people leave the country since 2017. And most Canadians are absolutely packing up and leaving for good. The bulk of those people leaving are from Ontario and from Vancouver. Ontario represented over 50% of those Canadians that left. Virtually all provinces in Canada have seen people leave. Also, quite a number of people leaving Alberta. Alberta was the third largest outflow of Canadians.
In the end, the real question isn't just whether to stay or leave, it's whether we're willing to face reality and make the right decisions for ourselves and our families. We can't keep holding on to an old version of Canada that no longer exists. Things are changing very, very fast. And if we don't prepare, we or our children may be the ones who pay the price later. If this video gave you something to think about, I hope you take a moment to reflect. And if you are someone who's considering living in Canada, or if you already have, I'd love to hear your story in the comment section below, because your experience might have someone else who's still searching for the answers. And once again, that is the end of our video today. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscription, and click on the subscription button right down below here, and see you in the next video.